Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to use WebSockets with NestJS. So yeah, let's get started. So this will be a pretty simple tutorial, like I won't do anything fancy, but on the front end side I will create a NestJS application from which we will be connecting to our NestJS backend for WebSocket communication. So let's get started. So first, to create a NestJS application, I will just use the NestJS CLI. I will just change the app name to my backend. Okay, and I'll just wait for this to finish. Let it do its thing. We can open a new tab, and inside that we can just create a Next.js application as well. So here inside Next.js command, it is asking me to select a package manager. I'll just select npm. In the meantime, I'll just copy this as well, and let it do its thing. And here we can open create another our front end, which is Next.js. So here I can just name it as my front end. Feel free to name it whatever you feel like. I'll click on yes, I'll click on yes, no, yes, yes, no, no. Okay, now let it do its thing. Now if you know, both Nest.js and Next.js are hosted on port number 3000, but what we'll do is we'll start our Nest.js application first. So it will start on port 3000, but then we'll start our Next.js application. So it will automatically pick up port 3001 because port 3000 is not available, so we don't have to do any configuration as such. Okay, so both of this application are created. So in the first tab I can just cd to my backend. Okay, and in the second tab I will just cd to my front end, cd my front end. Okay, then let's add both of open both of this project in VS Code. So the next thing which we have to do, so here I have just created, like, opened my cheat sheet, but here are our applications, backend application as well as front end applications. Okay, next, first we have to install this dependency. So don't get confused with this cheat sheet. This is not really actual code. So we have to go to our backend and install npm install NestJS platform socket IO. Okay, as well as NestJS WebSockets. Now here, at the time of me recording, it is always giving me this error. I don't understand why, but what I personally do is just do dash dash force, because we know what we are doing. Hopefully this works. Like, I have just created a simple Nest.js application and still it is throwing me error. I don't know. This is beyond me. Maybe there is some issue with their CLI itself, or maybe some version mismatch. But here you can see, like, it is this WebSockets. I don't know. Like, this WebSockets version is level, as well as this platform socket IO is level. But once I created this Nest.js application, I don't know why it is always use 10, given that version level is already available. So what we can do is we can manually change it. So level.0.4, I can just change it to level.0.4. And what is the core version available? Level.0.4 as well, .0.4. Then here it is also level.0.4. So this is also, yeah, this is done. Then what is the metadata? 0.2.2 latest version, and RxJS 7.8.1. okay, so I'll just save this, and again I'll just do npm install. Let's see if there are any. Yeah, we have to update our NestJS CLI as well, level.0.2, and this also level.0.0. the NestJS testing as well, level.0.4. I mean, this is not really required, but yeah, just to be on the safer side. So this is 5, this is correct. Yeah, these all things are fine, I guess. So what I can do is I can just do npm install. Let's see if it works or not. Hopefully it should work. Okay, so this has worked. Now what I can do is, the next is I need to generate this gateway module. So I can do generate this module with the help of this command npx nestjs CLI generate module gateway. and I will just click on enter, and it will create a gateway folder for us inside our application. So let's just wait. So here you can see it has created this gateway folder. Inside gateway.module.ts, we just have to add this providers. So I will just copy this. I will ignore everything else. Sorry, just a second. Ignore everything else. So here you will have to come and paste it over here. Now we need to create this particular file. So the file name is gateway.ts. So I will just create this file. I'll copy it, remove it, and here I will create it inside gateway folder, gateway.ts. Okay, now again I'll just copy some code and then I'll explain it to you what exactly is happening over here. So I'll just copy, I'll paste. Next we'll first go to gateway.module.ts and make sure you import this properly. Okay, then come back to gateway.ts. so firstly you can just copy paste this import. So we are creating a WebSocket gateway. Now we are enabling CORS. It is basically like, given that our backend is located on different domain or different port, and front end is located on different port, it will be located on 3001 like I told you. Given that we will be starting our application, backend application first and NestJS application later, so NestJS will automatically pick up port 3001. If you're using some different front end, make sure you add your own port over here. Then here we just do export class my gateway implements on module init. Then here we create our WebSocket server, and on module init we just create one connection and we are listening for it, and every time a user has been connected, I'm just doing a console log. And once we get a new message, so every time I get a new message, so we are listening for new message, so this is the variable. Then we emit that message to all the clients or front ends who have connected with our backend. So that's the only thing which we are doing over here. Okay, so not so here I have just hard coded this, and whatever is the body, so suppose ABC user has connected, then he send us a message to our backend. That message would be broadcasted to all the users who have connected to our backend. So that's how simple it is. Next we just have to go to our app.module.ts, and okay, it has already imported gateway module. We have app controller. Okay, so we don't need to change anything over here. So yeah, okay, I don't need to save this. I'll just don't save. So yeah, that's it. I think from a backend side, let's try running it. We won't be able to test it because we need to write our front end code as well. Pim run start colon dev. So okay, this looks okay to me. Now what we'll have to do is we have to go to our front end application. So I'll just minimize this, go to front end src page.tsx, and here it is default code which is given for Next.js. I don't like it. I'll remove everything. I will remove the style as well. Okay, and I'll remove this all imports as well. We are not using any styles as such. Okay, so again here I have just created this cheat sheet for my front end application. So ignore this particular file. First thing which we have to do for our front end is we have to install this particular socket.io client dependency. So I'll go back to our next tab. I'm already inside my front end, and I will just do npm install socket.io client. So let's just wait. Now I can just run npm run dev to start our application. Now we'll have to write some code. So firstly what we can do is we can just inside we'll first create a context. So here I will just go to src folder and I will just create one file called websocket context.tsx. Okay, and I'll just paste some code and I'll paste it over here. So it's pretty simple. So basically we are creating a context from React. We are getting the IO from socket.io client. We are connecting to our backend which is hosted on localhost colon 3000. Then we create this create context method and pass our socket to it, and then we just do WebSocket context dot provider and get the provider back. Next we have to just create one component. So I will inside our app inside our src folder, I will just create one folder called components, and I can name it as WebSocket. You can name it, feel free to name it whatever you feel like. WebSocket dot websocket.tsx. Okay, again I'll just copy some code and then I'll explain it to you. I'll just remove this. Okay, so come to websocket.tsx, and here you can see firstly we are importing our WebSocket context. Now I think I have messed up the import a little bit. I'll just remove this and I can just use it like this. Okay, so here you can see first we are importing WebSocket context, then we are importing use context, use effect and use state from React. So here first we are getting hold of our socket. Then what basically I will do, I have just created a use state because the user will type something inside that input, and whatever messages we get from our backend server are appended to this particular state of messages. So that's why I have used this particular state as well. Next, inside use effect we just do socket.on connect. Okay, so I'm just printing it. So here we are listening for messages. So whenever we get any message from our backend side, we just set it to our set messages state. So we are just appending it so that our previous messages are not lost. In case if you are confused why I'm using this on message, because if you go to your backend gateway.ts, here you can see we are emitting message with the help of this particular key on message. That's why we have to use the same key over here as well. And here we just disconnect in case the disconnect method is called. And in when we move away from the screen, we want to clean up the socket, so that's why I'm using this socket.off connect message and disconnect as well. And here is our socket as passed as an array to the use effect hook. Then here I have just created one input, and here I have created one button, and on click of the button whatever has been typed inside the text input gets emitted to the backend. So here I am using new message because if you see here we are listening for new message on the backend side. Typically once you get a new message you should save it to your database and then emit it. But yeah, we don't want to make this too complex. And here I am just looping over all the messages items which are present inside the array and displaying it. Okay, next we need to go to page.tsx and we have to use this use client. This is a NestJS thing. This has nothing to do with WebSockets. Basically it's because we have some interactivity as well as input text inside our element. That's why we have to use this. So now inside this return statement I'll just copy this. Okay, and I'll just import this everything WebSocket provider, and this is the component. Okay, why I'm not able to import it? So be careful, there are multiple WebSockets, you have to import it from our components. And what is the socket value? Okay, the socket value is also from web context, so I can just import it like this. Okay, now I don't need this. I'll just save this. Now you need to go to localhost colon 3001, not 3000. 3000 will display your backend application. So I'll just move this a little so that you can see clearly. Now I have opened one tab inside Firefox and one tab inside Chrome. So if I send one message from Firefox, even I have not tested it, hopefully this works. I'll send hi. Okay, so I'm able to see hi inside Firefox, and if I go to Chrome, here you can see I'm able to see hi as well. Now if I say hello from Chrome, I'll click on send, and here you can see I'm able to see it in Chrome as well as I'm able to see it in Firefox. So hopefully now if I just bring it show it to you side by side, how are you? I'll click on send, and here you can see both are displaying our messages properly. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.